But they now have the chance, that is, Iran, to permanently abandon their nuclear ambitions and to chart a new path forward. We'll see if they want to do it. If they don't, we're their worst nightmare. In the meantime, we'll just keep...
Wait, did you catch the look on everyone's face when he said that? We are literally watching the final countdown for Iran in real time. If you think the headlines are exaggerating, you haven't seen the final blow maps sitting on Trump's desk right now. This is the moment everything changes.
Mr. President, are you going to go in for the uranium? Like, how do you secure Iran and...
Let's assume I was or I wasn't. Why would I ever answer a question?
Can you accomplish
what kind of a question? Am I going to go in for the... Oh, yeah, I'm going in. We're going in tomorrow at 3 o'clock. How could you possibly ask a question like that and expect an answer? I don't know. But I don't know. I think you're a friendly person, too. It's just such a ridiculous question.
You have to love the classic Trump energy here. Look at how he handles that reporter's question about the uranium. He doesn't just dodge it, he turns it into a total sarcastic masterclass. When he says, yeah, we're going in tomorrow at 3, you can see the room just freeze for a second. It's that signature keep them guessing strategy he's famous for. But behind the humor, there's a serious underlying message. He's essentially telling the world that the US doesn't broadcast its military moves on the evening news. Notice the body language of the officials around him. They are locked in. This isn't just a casual meeting. It's a high-stakes chess game where the moves are already being calculated 3 steps ahead. He's projecting total confidence while leaving the Iranian leadership sweating, wondering if that 3 p.m. joke might actually have a grain of truth behind it. That's how you maintain leverage without firing a single shot. Yet. Now, look closely at these maps. These aren't just random islands. These are the jugular veins of the global oil economy. If the US moves on Karg Island or Larak Island, it's game over for Iran's exports. You're seeing the end strike packages that the Department of War just briefed the president on. What's wild is how surgical these options are. They aren't talking about a massive, messy ground war across the whole country. They are looking at seizing the Strait of Hormuz, the literal choke point of the world. Imagine the ripple effect on gas prices if this goes south. It's a bold move because it targets the one thing the Iranian regime needs to survive: money. The maps show a strategy of total isolation. It's a blockade and squeeze tactic that forces a choice. Either sit at the negotiating table or watch your entire economy vanish overnight. It's a terrifyingly efficient plan that most people are completely overlooking. This is where it gets technically insane. Look at the depth of these facilities, 100 meters underground. That's over 300 feet of rock and concrete. The fact that we have custom missiles specifically designed to reach those depths is a feat of engineering that's honestly hard to wrap your head around. When you see the satellite view of Natanz, it looks quiet, almost abandoned. But according to the briefing, that's where the 60% enriched uranium is sitting. The logistics of a ground operation to secure that material deep inside enemy territory is the stuff of action movies, but it's a real option on the table right now. Notice how the entrance is caved in from previous strikes. It's a literal fortress. The US is essentially saying, there is nowhere you can hide that we can't reach. It's a psychological blow as much as a physical one. They are showing Iran that their most protected assets are still vulnerable. Take a second to read between the lines of this post. Militarily obliterated with zero chance of a comeback. That is high-stakes language. Trump is using social media as a direct diplomatic tool here. By publicly stating that the Iranian negotiators are begging for a deal, he's stripping away their leverage on the world stage. It's a brilliant, if aggressive, way to control the narrative. He's framing the situation so that any deal Iran makes looks like a surrender. Look at the date. The deadline was Friday. This post was the final flare in the sky before things escalated. It's a masterclass in public pressure. He's essentially saying, I know you're weak, you know you're weak, and now the whole world knows you're weak. It's a brutal way to negotiate, but it's consistent with his entire approach. If you aren't paying attention to these digital signals, you're missing half the war.
Against that backdrop and our compelling military successes in epic fury, we have had multiple reach outs from the region and others who want to play a role in ending this conflict peacefully. I can report to you today that we have, along with your foreign policy team, presented a 15-point action list that forms the framework for a peace deal. This has been circulated through the Pakistani government, acting as the mediator, and this has resulted in strong and positive messaging in talks, as you just indicated to the press. But these are sensitive diplomatic discussions, and you have directed us to maintain confidentiality on the specific terms and not negotiate through the news media as others do. I can say this: we will see where things lead, and if we can convince Iran that this is the inflection point with no good alternatives for them, other than more death and destruction. We have strong signs that this is a possibility, and if a deal happens, it will be great for the country of Iran, for the entire region, and the world at large. Your policy of peace through strength is the most effective tool for a diplomatic resolution here, just as this policy was an effective tool in each and every one of all of the other conflicts you settled in your first year. Iran is looking for an off-ramp following your powerful threat on Saturday. Your indications that you are willing to listen to peace proposals have been well received. You have instructed us that your preference is always peace, and that we should make that our priority. We have delivered that message, sir, along with the 15 points for peace. Finally, we have told Iran one last thing: don't miscalculate.
Steve Wickoff is the man of the hour here. Watch how he presents the epic fury successes. He's not just reporting, he's documenting a shift in regional power. When he mentions the multiple reach outs from other countries wanting to mediate, it shows that the world realizes the US isn't bluffing. The expert friend takeaway here: the US has successfully isolated Iran to the point where even their neighbors are looking for an exit strategy. Wickoff is the good cop in this scenario, offering the 15-point plan as a lifeline, while the bad cop, the military options we saw earlier, is waiting in the wings. It's a classic pincer move in diplomacy. You offer a way out, but you make sure they know exactly what the alternative looks like. The precision in his speech reflects the precision of the military plans. Everything is synchronized. This weekend is going to be massive. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the breakdown when the clock hits 0.